Okay, welcome back. And now we're going to do some more examples. So now we're going to deal with decimals. So we're familiar with decimals. We've been doing it. We've used that before. So now all we're going to do is now dealing with signed numbers. All we're going to do is apply our two rules, right? So notice that these are the same sign. So what are we going to do? We're going to add their values in absolute, right? Their absolute values, and then keep the sign of the numbers, which is negative. So we know that the answer is going to be negative. All we have to do is just add them, right? So how do we add these? Well, again, remember adding decimals, we line up the decimal, right? So we have 21.6 and 9.8, so we're going to add those. And so what do we get? We get 30 what? We get 31.4, right? So again, I'm adding left to right. That's the easiest way in my head, okay? So we get 31.4, but now it's negative. So this is going to be equal negative 31.4. And then we're done. Now this one here, I'm going to show you how to do it on the calculator. So on the calculator, you can add negative numbers because on your calculator, you should have a negative key. Okay? So on your calculator here, so at the bottom on mine, I have this, it looks like a subtraction. It's a little smaller than a subtraction, but this is in parentheses. That's a negative number. Some keys have like a negative / positive sign on here, again, depending on your calculator. But most calculators have this negative sign where if you want to make a number negative, all you have to do is, let's say here, okay, I want to do negative, let's say negative 587, right? So all I would do is I would hit negative 587, and so that's my negative sign. Now don't confuse that with the subtraction sign, okay? Very different. Okay, if you use a subtraction sign, you're going to get an error, okay? So negative 587 and then plus 368. So I just plug in 368. And so I have this, and then just hit enter, and you get negative 219. And of course, it should be negative because this is the larger number, and so you keep the sign of the larger number. So the answer is negative 219. Okay, and that's it. So that's how you use the calculator. Okay, now let's do an application problem where, again, you could use the calculator, or you could just do it in your head and write it out like this. So here's the application. So it says, excess electricity generated by solar panels can often be sold back to the power company. Over the course of a year, one particular homeowner using solar energy consumed the following monthly amounts of electricity according to her electric bill. So negative 112. Okay, so here are the numbers. Negative 112, negative 42, 86, 108, 123, okay, negative 65, 144, 120, negative 122, negative 186, negative 114, $22 and $65. So this is for 1 year, okay? Okay, so now, these are the monthly amounts. Okay, it says a positive number means that she purchased the electricity, while a negative number means she sold the electricity back to the power company or went back into the grid. We can calculate the net amount of electricity bought or sold during this period, which is basically a year. Okay, and then we can rearrange the numbers into positive and negative groups, right? So that's the way I would do it, right? Is group the negative numbers together and group the positive numbers together, because remember, we can use the rules, right? So all the negative numbers we're going to add together, and that's just going to give us a bigger negative number. And all the positive numbers we can group together and add those together, because that's just going to give us a bigger positive number. And then we'll have a positive and negative number to add, and then we can just use rule number 2. So let's do that, okay? So in this case here, and these are in kilowatt hours, just so you know, which represents power. Okay, so now, here's what we have. We're going to take this, so I'm going to write this up as this. So I'm going to take negative 112 plus negative 42 plus negative 65 plus negative 122 plus negative 186 plus negative 114. Okay, those are going to be the negative group, and then the positive group I'll put down here. That's going to be 86 plus 108 plus 123 plus 144 plus 22 plus 65. And so now, all we have to do is get our calculator, and we can add up all of these numbers. Now here's the thing, in the calculator you don't, again, if you're following the rules in your head, you don't have to actually put the negative sign in the calculator, because you know that the answer has to be negative. So just put the numbers, the positive values in your calculator, and then add them, and just realize, hey, your final answer is going to be negative. That's what I do all the time. I don't bother putting negative numbers in if they're all negative, right? Unless I've got a mixture and I'm just going down, then I will. But if I'm doing something like this, I'm just going to add the numbers and then know that the answer is going to be negative, or I just make it negative at the end, okay? So what do we get? For the negative ones, we get what? Let me get my calculator. Okay, so we got 112, so we got 100, 200, 300, 400, 410, 450, 510, 530, 610, 620, 624, 629, 631, 637, 641. Okay, negative 641. So let's see if I did that right. So 112 plus 42, 65, 122, 186, 114. Yep, 641. So we got negative 641 up here. So we got negative 641. And then down here we've got what? 1, 2, 300, 380, 400, 440, 460, 520, 526, 534, 537, 551, 553, 558. Okay, so this is going to equal 558. So again, just double check. 86 plus 108, 108 plus 123 plus 144 plus 22 plus 65 plus, oh, that's it. Yep. Oh, wait a minute, 548. Did I mess up? Looks like I messed up. So 1, 2, 300, 380, 400, 440, 460, 520, 526, 534, 537, 551. Oh, 541. That's where I messed up. 541, 543, 548. Okay, yep, that's where I messed up. All right, now all I'm going to do is add these two numbers. So it's going to be negative 641 plus, right? So negative 641 plus 548. And again, all I'm going to do is add the number or subtract the numbers. They're opposite sides. So I'm going to subtract the numbers and take the value of the larger number. But again, you could do this in your calculator and just use the negative key. So negative 641 plus 548 equals negative 93. So negative 93. So in total, the net power or energy that was used was a negative, what was it again, 91? Negative 93 kilowatt hours. So in all for the year, she ended up selling back a net of 93 kilowatt hours back to the power company. So she made out with a credit in a sense. And that's it. Have a great day.